Okay guys, we're going to be reviewing Not Forgotten today. This is the legendary reward weapon in competitive. Very similar to Luna's Howl. Matter of fact, same perk layout. The only differences is Not Forgotten comes with barrel perks that are different, magazine perk that's also different, and a different masterwork. Outside of that, both of these weapons have a base default time to kill of 1 second. With Magnificent Howl proc, they both get a time to kill value reduced to 0.67. But why grind for something like Not Forgotten when you already have something like Luna's Howl? Let's talk about it, guys. First up, the perks on it. It comes with Extended Barrel. It also comes with Accurized Rounds. And as you see down there, the range stat is significantly bumped. Partly because of these perks right here, but also because of that plus 10 range stat from your masterwork. Now, Zen Moment is the trait, which is really nice. Landing that shot, especially if you can land that first shot, really stables out the weapon for the rest of the shots. Which means that first shot is so important when it comes to this gun. And the same thing for Luna's Howl too. Now, the trait Magnificent Howl, rapidly landing 2 precision shots grants a short period of bonus damage until your next kill or miss. Now, that damage goes 2 different ways. You can either land 2 crits and a body or just 3 crits. The 2 crits and a body is still plenty enough to kill any Guardian. It hits 257s and then an 88, or you can just do 257s and a 131. Completely up to you. What makes this gun so deadly, what I really like about it, and just like Luna's Howl, a lot of times in team engagements, I'll have someone peeking me and I'll only be able to land 2 shots on them before they peek back into cover. But then his friend is trading out with him. And in that moment, I land the 131 and then finish him off with maybe a body shot, or I double crit him, because sometimes Magnificent Howl will actually proc for 2 shots in a row. So it's very easy to 2-shot opponents. So we're not even talking about the time to kill value for when you 2-shot people, which is still less than half a second. We're just talking about when you actually land 3 shots, which is still a 0.67 time to kill value, which is significantly less than other 180 round per minute hand cannons, and a lot less than all other weapons. A very competitive TTK value that's very easy to obtain. And that's the thing I want to talk about. Luna's Howl is the perfect weapon that Bungie could have presented as a fabled reward. Whether you're a good shot or not, I feel like Luna's Howl can do well in anyone's hands. It's very manageable. As you see here, it has a very nice stability stat in comparison to Not Forgotten. A very good handling stat, and a good reload speed. The only thing it's lacking is in range, but in comparison to other 180 round per minute hand cannons, they're neck and neck. So you're not really missing out on anything. So the ease of use with Luna's is there. Not Forgotten is a little different animal. It requires precision. It also really requires you to pace your shots, especially in that mid-range. But if you can do those things, you're going to be outgunning pretty much every weapon in the game. Even things like pulse rifles in the mid-range. But it's a much higher skill tiered weapon, which I find to be perfect here, because most players that are going to get to that 5500 rank are going to be able to do all of those things that I just mentioned. Now, you don't realize how good Not Forgotten really is until you start running into teams using it. And pretty much everything from 4,500 and up, that last lap of 1,000 points, you're gonna be going up against a lot of 4-man squads. All of them normally have Not Forgotten. And I felt like I was at a huge disadvantage. Despite Luna's Howl being an easier weapon to manage, recoil being very easy to manage, the fact that Not Forgotten has so much on it in terms of range, I found it almost impossible to win a 1v1 against it, unless I just closed the gap significantly. But even when I closed the gap, I just ended up getting shotgun. And until I actually got Not Forgotten for myself, despite me reviewing it before, having it on my own account and playing around with it in Rumble a lot, I really got to see the true advantages of this hand cannon. What it allows you to do is to maintain that consistent time to kill value of 0.67 at the mid-range, locking down everything in the mid-range and forcing opponents to push up on you. And in that moment, you just pull out a shotgun and kill them. That's what it does, because this is what happens to a lot of opponents. They really don't know how to go against you. You've got a weapon that's out-killing them, mathematically out-killing them. So countering you is almost impossible unless they just really push back on you. And a rock and a pulse rifle, that's like the only way. So most of them think, I gotta push the gap. I've got to get close to them. And in that process of getting close to you, landing a single shot with this hand cannon, even if it's a body shot, is enough damage to make them easy prey for a shotgun kill. That's what ate me up about Not Forgotten. Is it worth the grind? It really comes down to you. Do you want a weapon that can do what Luna's Howl does in the mid-range? That's really going to come down to you guys. I think it's worth the grind. But then again, yesterday, if you would have asked me that, I probably would have said hell no. Because again, you will be tested. And the further and further you get into those ranks, the less points you earn per win. And Bungie does this so that it gets harder and harder the higher you go. So for my Crucible players out there that are looking for in-game content, this is it. This is the true in-game here for PvP players. Now in the next few days, I'll probably put out a video on tips in terms of what weapons to bring, especially once you get anything north of 2100 rank. I did a video, you know, of course, where we talk about how to get to Luna. I feel like the game completely changes though when going for Not Forgotten, which is why I feel like I need to do a video for that one. But let me know in the comments below if you even want to see that one, fellas. I don't know how many of you are actually going to try to go for Not Forgotten. I definitely think it's a weapon to get, and I don't think this weapon will ever come to us the way Redrick's Claymore did. Like Bungie bringing out Broadsword and doing that quest, I can see them possibly doing that for something like Luna's Howl. But Not Forgotten, they're going to keep this as a legend rank reward only, because if they suddenly just made a quest for this gun to be obtained, people will lose their mind, and I don't blame them. This is a hard weapon to get, and I don't see Bungie ever opening this weapon up as a quest. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about it. It's a fabulous weapon. It really is. I kind of feel bad that I misjudged it a month ago when I reviewed both of these. I definitely think it's worth the grind, but man, does it make you question your sanity. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.